Hello, we're at Old Bedford Village, Pennsylvania right now. This is Bugle Instruction Part 2. You might have seen Part 1. I might look a little bit different. I wasn't wearing a hat. I had my sack coat on with my belt. I wasn't wearing shoes. I was wearing shoes, but this time I got overheated, so I'm not gonna. So, last video, Part 1, we showed you some bugle stances and some calls. Today we're gonna just play some calls for you. First call I'm going to play for you is Tattoo. It is one of the longest calls that I know of on the bugle, and it is played in the evening before men go to bed. Usually the call I played last in Part 1, Taps, was the one that set down the curtain on the day, but Tattoo was one of the ones leading up to that. This is Tattoo. I made a little mistake on the high note there, but it screws up your lips. One thing to do to loosen up your lips is take deep breaths, and also sometimes you know how you see horses go. Well, do that with your lips. Do that, you know, just loosen up your lips so you can play more. And also another thing, mouthpiece pressure. When you play, you might say, well, I'm just pushing it in, that's alright. It's not okay. It's a very bad habit, like chewing your nails or twitching sometimes, and it's just a bad habit. So when you play your bugle, make sure you have minimal mouthpiece pressure, and that you have your throat muscles should be relaxed. Try to think of yawning. Trying to think of the sensation of yawning when you play. So if you choke when you play, like choking up your neck muscles, it sounds awful. But when you let it go, it sounds much cleaner, smoother, and more easy to recognize. So the next call I'm going to play for you is Extinguished Lights. It was kind of like the taps, but in the early war in 1862, Daniel Butterfield made taps. Before that was Extinguished Lights. So this is kind of the early war taps. And you can see how that's a very formal call. Daniel Butterfield didn't like that. He wanted something that would close the curtain on the day. So he got his bugler and they made up taps. So the next call I'm going to play for you is the charge, and that's kind of self-explanatory. If the commander felt that there was a need for the men to move forward quickly, he would play the charge. So yes, that would be the charge. The next call I want to show you would be let's think. Well, there are 49 calls in infantry bugle. There are 30 in artillery, and I'm not sure how many are there amount of cavalry. Let's think. Another call to play.
Alright, you're gonna have to edit that part anyway, because you're stopping. Make up a number. Instead of saying you're not sure how many, take your best guess. It'll sound like more authoritative. It sound like you know what you're talking about there, right?
I know a couple of them. There's fatigue call. It was played in the morning, soon after breakfast. To usually it's kind of the call saying time to go do your chores in camp. Then I'm gonna go get water and wood. This is a fatigue call. And then there's school call and sick call, which would school call would be for instruction, and sick call would be if any man was injured, he would go over to the surgeon and get his wounds fixed. So this would be school call. And then there's the sick call, where, like I said before, if a man was injured, he would go to the doctor. So, there are many duty calls in a day of a bugler. In the morning, you would play reveille, then breakfast call, then the duty calls, and then in the afternoon in battle, there are many more calls also. The next battle call I'm going to show you will be the, let's think, what's a good battle call that I haven't? I've showed you by the right flank, by the left flank. Let me think. I think I covered most of the good calls that you need to know. So now we're going to show you some quick steps on the bugle, songs that they would play. Songs that they would play on the march, like during dress parade. You see the dress parade, you see the infantry lined up, and then on the side would be the music. Usually the music comes out in front, goes around playing a song, and comes back. They would usually play songs that either the fife or the bugle would play, and sometimes, rarely, I don't think there are many quick steps where the fife and bugle can harmonize, but sometimes they would play both. There are many quick steps. I do not know every single one, but one of them is called the Grand March. And usually when you play the quick steps, there are parts in it. There's two segments divided. There's the A part and the B part. Usually you play the A part twice and the B part twice. That time I went from A straight to B. The next quick step I'm going to show you is called the American flag. The next quick step I'm going to show you is the American flag. And that time I went from A straight to B. The last thing I'm going to show you is quick step number 1. There are many other quick steps, but we don't have much time left. Quick step number 1. Okay, so looks like we're out of time here. Thank you. There might be a part 3 coming up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.